All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world. Thank you very much for coming on our monthly, not just quarterly, but monthly live streams in order for our team here at Yoon Global to engage with you directly. From folks all over the world, greetings from Alaska, from US, AM, um, Kan, all the folks around the world. So today is actually a very, very interesting subject that I want to bring up to everybody. We'll keep it more casual. Hawaii, I see the kingdom of Cambodia, awesome, right next door to Vietnam. And oh, wow, okay, from Croatia. So this might be the first one from Croatia. Is that confirmed? Yes, confirmed. We've never had someone from Croatia, so thank you so much for joining in. Of course, Dallas, Texas, Frisco, Saipan, and Australia. And then Tom from Thailand. I like that as well. All right. So today we're going to go into a live stream because it's happening a lot in the news right now. It's a matter of different scams, right? We did our video. You can click on that about the 55 scams in Vietnam recently. We have a 2-part series on that. You can click on that channel in order to watch that one as well. Also, if you look at the lot of the news that's happening in Vietnam right now, very different variations of scams or frauds or of either the government, of other private parties, of the general public in general. So it deals with kind of consumer protection laws that are going to help people, or the government is protecting people in order to do business better, to live in harmony, and also to be able to work with the government. So scams are not new, but when it's at a prevalent level right now, and I'm going to go through some of them and I'm going to answer your questions as well. And maybe you can also tell me some of these scams that I didn't know about. But I'm going to start off quite personally, going through maybe 3 or 4 examples of my 12 years here in Vietnam, personal experience with scamming in Vietnam, and they come in various different forms. I'll probably start with the lowest level, the easiest, and then I'll start to higher levels that were deeper and more elaborate and more intricate. All right. So the first one, I mean, the very simple one, I think it's true all over the world, not just for Vietnam, is called the personal loan scam. Pretty much is your a buddy or somebody that just says, hey, if I can just borrow a couple of bucks and then I'll give it back later. I mean, it started off way back when I first came back, was $500, and the person paid me back, and that's fine. The next time it was $2,000, and they paid me back, was fine. And then some of the things that have happened now, and probably about three years or so into it, I lent somebody $10,000. It's more for their education, and it turns out that 3 years later they won't, or they haven't decided to give it back. It could be maybe they think I am doing well, I'm well off, I don't need the money, and they may need it more than I do. Nevertheless, I even have trouble going to, I can lend you 500,000, not a problem. Is It's not really about the money itself, it's about the principle, right? Where you go out, you lend your money to somebody, and it turns out that they didn't have any intentions to give it back to you. And unfortunately, that's considered a scam. That's more of a personal scam, right? But I have trouble trying to get money back. That's for sure. Okay. So that's just a very easy personal scam. So now, if it's not necessary, I won't give any personal loans to any friends unless if they really, really need it. And if I do give it, then probably I'll think about not getting it back. So in essence, it becomes a gift rather than a personal loan. That makes life easier. Okay, very simple. I'm sure thousands of you, hundreds of you have gone through that before. So that's pretty straightforward. A second one would be a little bit more elaborate that deals in the business climate in deciding your business partners. Okay. So I had a business partner, law firm business partner, way back when I first came back. But actually, before that, actually another example would be the partner and I were working together. We were cross referring work, commissions sharing, sharing offices, and sharing space, and all of that. But what was happening was, you trust them, their business partner. And in America, when we trust somebody, we just do business. We don't think twice about it. But in reality, what was happening was they were treating me as like a cash cow. And I roughly brought in about $300,000 of business in less than 3 years, which is pretty decent, especially if you can run your business right. And it turned out what they were doing is every single little markup that they were looking at different expenses, office markup, chair markups, personnel markup, and then also regarding price markups. So all these little things actually add up quite a bit in the grand scheme of things. Just because thinking you bring in about $300,000 of revenue, you should be able to expend it properly and not be able to owe money. And then and now that person's even trying to say that I owe them money. So it's about a 3 or 4 year, going back and forth. And they even filed a fake lawsuit against me to say that I owe them money, which I don't. So that's an ongoing thing. One lesson I learned from there, as always, we got to have lessons learned in life, is don't trust that they are going to look after you and your best interests just because they're really looking for themselves. And people who are very charismatic, narcissistic, they will believe that they are looking out for your best interests, but in reality, they're just scheming you at the bottom and scheming you out of different things. So that's the second lesson I learned. That's why I don't have any law firm partners now. I trust my business people, and they're very few, right? Mr. William Dos Santos, my co-founder, CMO, for 17 years now, probably the only person I trust in business that has my best interest in mind. All right? That's the second one. The third one, that is probably a bigger scam that I would say. It deals with investment into a business that never existed, right? They're very good at it. They build up your trust. They they have their family spend time with you. You go on vacations together. You hang out together. Even during COVID, you help out each other. So I call that the buying your trust, or I don't know, in a sense, treating you very well for a short period of time, and then they'll rope you into a particular business and investment as well. And that one's a little bit bigger scheme, just because it was about 3 years, lifestyle changes, upgrades, different networks. But in reality, they were just trying to see how much money you have and then slowly get you to invest into these various different businesses, creating the whole lifestyle from supercars to five-star vacations, to a certain lifestyle that I wasn't accustomed to at the time, and I thought maybe that was the life that I wanted to live. But in reality, after losing that rather large sum of money, I realized that didn't even change me, didn't change my lifestyle, didn't change my outlook. And then for the last 3 years, very clear on my direction, what I want to do, my legacy, which is to create 50,000 jobs for the Vietnamese people. So in light of all of those scams and all those situations, I still came out, I feel, on top, or at least further in life, more focused, more determined to do what I want to do and need to do in order to leave a legacy for my son, for my family, and then for Young Global as well. So those are, thank you very much for listening to my personal story of scams. Today, the main purpose is to help you avoid the 55 scams, or we have other videos as well. Let me put up another link to our entire scam. We call it the scam playlist, for lack of better word. It is a playlist of all the videos that we talk about different scams in Vietnam that are playing out right now, from tweeting to Mr. Pip, TikTokers, influencers. And now there's a big one now we haven't done a video on, is My Lisa, even DJ Ngung 98, things like that. There's quite a few. So make sure you watch that playlist to get some of those videos. So today, the main topic is going to be about different scams. And I will get into questions. I'll also answer questions about visas. Real estate is going to be a big topic. Banking as well. So if you're interested in looking at real estate in Vietnam, definitely watch our playlist. And then we have specific videos as well that you can click on how to buy real estate in Vietnam. It's a hot topic. All right, so without further ado, let me just go into some of these questions. Because that's what this is really for, direct interaction with me and our team, so that you get to ask your questions directly. Good, so okay, anybody have any questions? We'll start off with the first one. I think most of the comments at the beginning, which I think you all can relate to some of my stories. You may have experienced it yourself. We advise so many people. All right. So can anybody with a question? All right. So first question is by Cambodian Cooking. Do you see Vietnam going into robocars, taxis, etc.? Definitely the self-driving industry or the self-serving industry will continue to grow around the world. Vietnam, with the introduction of, I would say, for more advanced cars, would be BYD. Tesla is not fully in Vietnam yet. That Vietnam will continue to go into the self-driving cars. However, you have to really look at it. If you look at all the motorbikes, the horse carts, the rickshaws, and then of course the bicycles, it's a very unpredictable pattern of cars and traffic. So for Vietnam to fully go robo, I would be very scared myself driving around this traffic because of the predictability. It would have to take some really advanced AI to calculate if a squirrel or a rat's going to run across your car and you can't see it. And then children as well, and then maybe some cows and some snakes. So it definitely will go in that direction, but not for the next 10 years or so. Vietnam won't be at that level, but I hope it will. I just posted a picture yesterday about a Tesla owner just chilling, having his coffee while he gets to work. Here we have Grab. We can use that as well. So thank you very much for the question. All right, Christina. QQQ question. Will Vietnam come out with more friendly digital nomad visas? So Vietnam is in the immigration status it has right now with the 90-day e-visas or even visa-free for over 40 countries around the world. For digital nomads, I think it would work just because I've seen many clients live in cities like Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi, whereby you have an international airport available where you can just do a quick visa run out of the country, flying out to anywhere in Southeast Asia in less than 2 hours, including Bali, including Singapore. You might a little further get to East Timor, but you can go to Bangkok, you can go to Phuket, many of the international cities. So in essence, for digital nomads, being able to hop in and out of the country every 90 days is pretty easy. And to be honest, most digital nomads love to travel, love to get around, love to work on the beaches, hitting on their laptops. So in essence, that will be considered a digital nomad visa And there are many options. If you need help for short-term 90-day to midterm about a year, of course, long-term for 3 years or 5 years, we have many options for you. You can click on the link below on visa updates in the videos that we talk about some of the available options. But if you have a specific situation, such as you have a spouse, or you even have a same-sex spouse, you have children, and you need really solid planning, we do a lot of that as well for families in order to stay in Vietnam longer term, setting up companies, simple consulting companies or online work, remote work. We've done that. We do it all the time. We'll be happy to help you, give you a longer term solution in Vietnam. So thank you very much for the question. Can you walk us through your services? So, I mean, we have main groups of services that we provide. But if you group them together, first you look at the business legal work, which includes entity formation, setting up companies, um, employment law, tax law, how to structure M&A in Vietnam. The second group is the immigration law side. So you can do work permits, temporary residence cards, investment visas that we do as well. Then you have the citizenships. So if you're Vietnamese overseas, then you can get Vietnamese passport and also an ID in order to stay in Vietnam long term. And the final big service we provide is buying real estate in Vietnam, right? We help a lot of foreigners buy real estate, rent real estate all over Vietnam, especially in the beaches or the cities. Those are really the main general ones. You can definitely see our videos to see many of our services. And of course, we consider our firm the fixer. So we fix issues and problems that you may not be able to fix yourself, or we do it in a very efficient and cost-effective manner that would make sense for you to hire us instead of trying to do it yourself. And of course, timing as well. We spend a lot of time learning the law, practicing the work, and also building our public and private relationships in order to get things done, solve problems, and fix things for you. So thank you very much. I mean, that generally is our services, but you can take a look at our website, our fan page, and our YouTube channel and our videos to know other services we provide as well. But rest assured, we do handle majority of the services that a foreigner or expat moving to, living in, investing, or retiring in Vietnam. Please talk about Vietnamese girls' relationships and divorce-related topics. Sure. So, with girls, it's a sensitive topic. I would just keep it clean, which is talking about marriage or finding your significant other, establishing a life here in Vietnam. I would say the majority of the girls 25 to 35 are looking for relationships, looking for marriage, right? They're not just out there to have fun. I would say that in general, the Vietnamese women are more mature than other countries because they have to grow up a little bit earlier. They have to work earlier, some at 18 years old already. So therefore, if you are looking to just be entertained, then somebody under 25. But if somebody 25 to 35 years old, you need to be serious about establishing a life, having certain assets, certain future plans and goals in order to be in Vietnam. Of course, we register marriages for foreigners with Vietnamese as well. We do that paperwork in order for you to, either have your children to have both Vietnamese citizenship and a second one abroad, such as the US or Europe, Canada, Australia. Also, we register the marriage certificate so you can get the marriage, what's it called, the TT, temporary residence card based on marriage to a Vietnamese citizen. That's another option. Then, of course, being married to a Vietnamese citizen, you can also potentially get Vietnamese citizenship yourself, even without being born in Vietnam, right? So we provide all the marriage, and within that, the prenuptial agreements to make sure that you are clear of your assets and also to protect you. On the divorce side, yes, unfortunately, not all marriages end up in happy endings, but we try to help through the process by giving you kind of cultural nuances during the divorce proceedings, the negotiations, especially the law on how you transfer assets, how you divide up the assets. But the real value we add that other firms can't is the cultural nuance of understanding living abroad and also living in Vietnam. I've been here 12 years. I've been in the US for 30 years. I've lived in 4 countries around the world. I have a pretty decent understanding of the cultural differences between the foreigner and the local Vietnamese that may hinder the negotiation process, um, things like that. So those are some of the competitive advantages that we have. We don't just work on the law, we work on the cultural aspect, the familial aspect, and also how you can work in order to resolve the issue with the marital settlement agreements, child custody, certain alimony, and child support as well. So we kind of walked you through that step by step with our local Vietnamese team and then also our international team to make sure you get the most amicable resolution without losing all your assets and hopefully to co-parent afterwards with the family as well. So we keep the psychological side and the emotional side as well as the financial economic side. Is there any way that a traveler to Vietnam can avoid biometric data collection at the airport upon arrival and during departure? So currently, it's not optional. Right now, it is mandatory that when you come in, there is a facial scan and a fingerprint scan that is implemented all over the world. So there's really no specific way to get around that. Um, we made quite a few videos about the entry and exit systems. You can take a look at that and see why biometric data collection is mandatory in Vietnam right now. Okay. Okay, wait. Billy Tran, I never got scammed in Vietnam. Thailand, on the other hand, especially Pattaya, scam central. Okay. No, I think scams happen everywhere in the world, depending on your lifestyle and what you do and how deeply you are ingrained in the culture. All right. So some Kamau one, quadrate man. Billy Tran, Mr. Ken, I plan to retire in Vietnam. I need consulting on visa, marriage, and etc. Do you have an office in Hanoi? So currently, right now, we do not have a physical office in Hanoi, but we are fully available to consult online via video call because, trust me, my knowledge base is the exact same no matter where you sit. It'd be nice to come into our office here in Ho Chi Minh City in District 1, but we're also available online, our knowledge base, and we consult and advise all around the world. So, Billy Tran, please just shoot us an email to my assistant, Jane, or Sung An, and they will schedule a consultation for us, list out all your questions, be happy to come up with a strategic, tailored plan in order to help you invest. Okay. Mm. All right, Quadrate Man. My wife is from Kamau, and we bought land there next to a road that would be expanded. Should we keep our investment there, or would it be better to sell and buy something in Saigon? So this is really great question, and this is a personal experience as well as helping clients. I'm from Kamau myself, and I also have land that is what is called WeWat or planned for other uses, especially expansion of roads, and also to move the central business district or the government district into an area, and that's been going on for 10 years and they still haven't built the new district yet, nor expanded the road. Okay. You got to look at one is the compensation or bồi thường for your land itself. Most of the time, it's not going to be justified. It's going to be very low price, and you don't know when they'll compensate you. Two is you want to look at whether you can sell it or not, right? Because if it's in a WeWat area, then it will be difficult to sell to folks outside of Kamau who don't know what's happening there. It'll be hard to sell to a foreigner because you got to convince them and educate them. But we'll be happy to do that for you so they understand the process and why they're buying the particular piece of land. You're probably not going to build any structures that are more permanent or a building or anything on that, just because the government can take it away at any time. So it depends on your financial situation, but if it's already under the WeWat or zoning and planning for an expanded road, I would recommend you sell it and then buy something. Saigon is very difficult to buy now, depending on your risk appetite and your short-term goals or your long-term goals. Saigon's very expensive. If you're looking at short-term goals, you can only buy apartments. You can maybe buy a shop house that has certain cash flow, and then you can buy a duplex or a building as well. But you probably can't find anything under 300,000 US dollars, and that would have a decent appreciation. What I would do is actually look at other cities and provinces that will have more growth opportunity. You should definitely look at Kanwa, or what we consider Nha Trang area. You should look at Lam Dong, which is Đà Lạt. It also acquired Bình Thuận or Mũi Né, Phan Thiết area as well. Then you can look up north, Đà Nẵng, Hội An area, what's considered Quảng Ngãi as well. Then you look in the north, you look at the Hải Phòng and Ha Long Bay areas or Ninh Bình, then you'll be able to find opportunities to invest a smaller amount that will get you much further and also will get you better appreciation if you can, since your wife is from Kamau, you can actually buy land as well. That would be a better appreciation for you in the long run if you're not so dependent on the cash flow at this time. That would be my advice. Of course, reach out to us. We work with many solid real estate agents and brokers, such as Savius or CBRE, Avis and Young, Cushman and Wakefield, along with local companies as well, such as Smartland and IQI and others. So definitely reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you sell the Kamau land. Maybe one of my clients or contacts in Kamau may be interested. And then also help you identify the next piece of land that you can buy or the real estate. And we have a real estate due diligence package that helps you identify the developer, the credibility of the construction company, the rating of the bank, any defects, will contracts for you, and then help you through the process of buying it. So definitely check out our real estate due diligence package. You can click on the form below in order to take a look at that. So thank you very much for your question. We look forward to, working with a fellow, what we call đồng hương or neighbor in Kamau. Is it true Vietnam is taking away some privacy from tourists? Yes. You do realize Vietnam is a socialist country, which means all the land is owned by the government, people constructively own it, and your privacy is controlled by the government. So if you're coming from a country that has a lot more freedoms and rights, or perceived freedoms and rights, such as the United States under the First Amendment of freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of assembly, you might think that you are having full privacy. But in reality, most of the countries are gathering data through Facebook, through social media, LinkedIn, and all that. So you probably don't have much privacy in the first place. You just have a perception of privacy. So it is true that Vietnam is taking away your privacy that you probably never had in the first place. So it's just an illusion because all the governments are doing it. All right, relentless Ryoko. Thailand cracking down on visa exemption, border runs now. Do you see Vietnam doing the same? I would say no. Vietnam is they're still very open to tourism and people coming in. So I wouldn't say they're doing it at the level of Thailand, whereby you're cracking down the border runs. Vietnam is still pretty relaxed. They'll still let you do one or two. So you have 90 days, 180, 270 days of stays in Vietnam. Then you go out for a week or two, and then you can come back. So it will still be available because it's a different way to renew visas, to activate visas, and also to switch or to a new visa type. So I would say that Vietnam won't be as strict as Thailand regarding the visa runs with Cambodia and other international flights as well. How much in advance is required for consultation? So typically 48 to 72 hours, but my schedule is pretty much a week at a time. If you're in a rush, then you just go through the process, make the payment, and then Jane will schedule for you in the next available time. But I would say 72 hours in advance for bookings, consultation with me, with our other attorneys and staff as well. It could be a little bit shorter. But of course, with more time, we'll have better preparation to prepare and answer your questions, and then be able to give you the best solution possible or the best pathway. So recommend time will be 72 hours for lead time. How easy is it to get a condo project before it's completed and not get scammed? Are there current companies that you should look out for? So with condo projects, you definitely need, under the current law, it's a little bit more protective because the developer needs to have available monies for construction and also to get certain phases before they can actually get money from the buyers. So that's going to be a certain level of protection. There's a maximum deposit amount that you can put in before they start construction. But I would say the condo projects are really up in the air. There's a whole spectrum of new developers to well-established developers, but each project will be on its own, and that's why we do the real estate due diligence package to make sure the developer, the construction company, construction is very important because you don't want shoddy work. You want to make sure you have certain guarantees and also delivery on time. So making sure your developer, the bank, and the construction company are all solid, have a great track record, and have a track record of delivery, for one. And two is the handover of the pink book, making sure that they have a track record for the pink book as well. And there are many ways to keep you safe. If a project, a whole building, one pink book is already been issued, then likely that the rest will be issued for that project as well. So that's one way to verify. I mean, we have a full due diligence package. We'll be happy to help you, but each project will be different. You know, sometimes we look at some of the bigger developers that have big projects and handover, such as Vin Homes. Right, Vin Homes is one of the biggest developer in Vietnam. They have millions of units, and they've delivered pink books for a lot of them. So you might want to look at some of those projects. Also, you want to look at other developers such as Masterize, which are more high-end properties. Then you have Sung Kim Land also has high-end properties. And then, of course, the international developers such as Keppel Land, Capital Land, Maple, and some of the more regional players like Daksan Daksan, and then you have Backback or some of the other Vietnamese developers as well that have a good track record. So I would say each project needs to be looked at and reviewed separately. And then in order to see if it's worth it to invest in it and that you get the result you want, which is a pink book in hand and legal rights to apothecate, collateralize, and sell, and also pass the property on to your children. Okay, so reach out to us. We'll be happy to do the due diligence package for you. And if you need help, we can even help you with the escrow to make sure that your money is protected and conditions are met before you release funds for the purchase of the property itself. Okay, Felix Tom. I am married to a Vietnamese citizen who lives in New York. No green card. I am in Tây Ninh now. I wish I could get a Vietnamese passport. So, because you are married to a Vietnamese citizen, regardless if they live in Vietnam or not, just got to make sure they have a valid passport and the new ID, right? The new căn cước công dân, the national ID, as opposed to just the old one, which is the chứng minh nhân dân. Then we can possibly get you through the process of getting Vietnamese citizenship via marriage to Vietnamese citizen, which the minimum requirements are you have to have 2 consecutive TRCs, temporary residence card, which is 3 years at a time, so 6 years. Then you can apply for a permanent resident card of 5 years. And after that, you'll be able to apply for Vietnamese citizenship. After you've shown you have children in Vietnam, you're still married to that person, you have a certain business or investments in Vietnam, and your intention is to stay in Vietnam long term. That is the new law that allows for foreigners to be able to marry Vietnamese citizens and have a pathway to citizenship. So if you want to know if you qualify now or how to in the future, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you. Blue Sky, do you think there will be a day when Vietnam would Vietnamese government would start to begin phase out? Do you think there will be a day when VN would start to begin to phase out? I don't know exactly what your question is specifically. Phase out of maybe Blue Sky. If you can clarify your question more specifically, then I'll get back to it. I don't want to answer a question that I'm ambiguous about and then lead the wrong way and waste everybody's time. So if you can just clarify specifically your question, I'll be happy to answer it later. Turning Point, Australia. Please explain the effect of digital currency on foreigners retiring in Vietnam. So currently, if you're a retiree, foreigner retiring in Vietnam, then you can receive your monies through the bank. You can also, so you can do a transfer from your foreign bank into your Vietnam bank. But you need a TRC to open up a bank account. We need to mention that. Either you open a small business or you work for a company. If you're retired, then most likely you're going to have to open up a small business. We have many different business investment options with us, such as spas, coffee shops, convenience stores, pharmacies, and other restaurants and F&B concepts as well, that we can help you establish a passive investment business. But if you are digital currency, for example, like a Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, or there's a bank called Timo that is attached to, it can be attached to a foreign bank or a local bank that will allow you to have a debit card and also a QR code where you can spend your foreign money without having to transfer it into Vietnam. So that's actually very convenient for retirees because maybe you don't want to bring a lot or all of your money into Vietnam if it is not necessary. Right. The other option is you have your regular bank and you have your debit card that you use or your credit card for your expenses in Vietnam and you pay it off in the foreign country. There are many options available in Vietnam right now, except you cannot pay with cryptocurrencies yet. It's still considered a bank transfer when you do pay. However, it's $0 or no fees for transactions, unlimited transactions, anything over 5 million, you have to do a facial scan. So you do have to register that if you are going to use one of the digital banks in Vietnam. But with that said, there are a lot of options available for foreign retirees in Vietnam to have enough money for you to be comfortable on a monthly basis without having to park all your money in Vietnam. If you need a strategic plan and specific advice on where to live, how to live there, how to use your money, how to receive your monies, be happy to do in a 1 hour consultation to give you a strategic plan based on your specific needs, especially the country that you come from, because there'll be tax implications as well. Okay. Can a Vietnamese person living in the US get a Vietnam national ID? So the short answer is yes, and we have done many of the new IDs, căn cước công dân, probably over 20 or so already. And you only need to be in Vietnam once or twice in order to do the fingerprint and then also to take the picture. We structure it whereby everything will be approved, and we'll walk you for 1 week in Vietnam to come and take your picture, to get your fingerprint, and then get your ID in one quick movement so that it's smooth and it doesn't take up much of your time. So that can be done. So the short answer is yes. The long answer is we need to review all of your documents. So if you're interested, we have you can just send us an email. We'll send you an intake form and a document checklist to see if you qualify for the Vietnamese ID and or the Vietnamese passport as well. So reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you. Fact Lab, I have a Vietnamese birth certificate. Can I get a Vietnamese citizenship card? So the general answer is yes. The Vietnamese birth certificate is the minimum requirement. Shoot us an email or go on our website, Vietnam Passport, and you can fill in the form there and then send information to us. We'll be happy to assess whether you qualify for the Vietnamese citizenship. Okay. And of course, I mean, we always would be remiss if we didn't make this call to action. We really, believe that you're a great source of inspiration, a great opportunity for us to continue to make good videos. But of course, sometimes there's small expenses, a few $100s, a few $1,000 in order to fly the team to Da Nang or other places to shoot some of these videos that we give you for free. So if you feel so inclined, we're setting up a trip to Da Nang coming up soon. The total trip for Kim and I and maybe another assistant to go will be roughly about $2,000 US. So if you're so inclined, we would love for you to support us. Join us in our journey to provide good content, relatable content, and on-the-ground action content. I know we give a lot of information from Saigon, but I've noticed that our videos in Da Nang or Vũng Tàu, Đà Lạt will actually have good attraction because it's a tell you while we're doing it story rather than just talking. So we're going to put in our Square link below if you're so inclined to help us reach our goal of $2,000 for our next upcoming trip to Da Nang in order to shoot all those videos about digital nomads, about retiring in Da Nang, buying properties, renting, opening up franchises and different support services, the International Financial Center. A lot of those topics we already have ideas and we are ready to go execute. It'll be great if you join us in this small crowdfunding journey by clicking on the link and the Square button to give some donations to the Da Nang Content Exploration Fund. Thank you very much. Okay. Just answer the other question real quick. Do you have people in Da Nang? Yes, we do have people in Da Nang. We are planning to expand a few franchises out there in the food and beverage space, in the spa, wealth and health and wellness space, and then of course certain coffee or matcha brands as well, and then possibly a hospitality expansion. So we are working with different partners out there, and we are possibly going to open an office. So look forward to that. But nevertheless, as of right now, we can definitely help with anything in Da Nang that you need. Just let us know. We'd be happy to assist you. Okay. Is it 50-50 when it comes to divorce in Vietnam? So yes, the current family law states that all assets are split 50-50 upon divorce unless agreed upon otherwise with a valid prenuptial agreement or postnuptial agreement that is signed, executed, and witnessed properly in Vietnam. So yes, the default law is 50-50 upon divorce. If you need help with negotiations, drafting postnuptial agreements, or helping you through understanding how the divorce process works, negotiating on your behalf, making sure that your family is protected, especially the children, we'll be happy to give you the cultural nuance of getting divorced in Vietnam. Wait. Oh, great. Thank you, Blue Sky, for the clarification. Do you think there will be a day when Vietnam would have electric bike and gasoline bikes are exception? So it's just interesting you ask because there are specific laws and we've made videos on it regarding the gas ban for vehicles based on the WEF's strategy. This year, starting next year in 2026, Hanoi, believe it, yeah, Hanoi will ban all gas bikes or motorbikes, motorcycles in the main CBD district in the center. Okay. And then 2027, that will roll out to Ho Chi Minh as well. Then expected down the line to also restrict cars, gasoline cars, to come into the city centers. There'll be a fine or there'll be a licensing requirements or permitting in order to bring those gasoline bicycles. So with that directive and possible implementation, I can see there would be a day that more electric bikes than gas bikes. However, if you really look at it, it's about 43 million bikes, or right now in Vietnam, and about 7 to 8 million cars. So to go full electric will be quite difficult. Although I think there will be a push for greener, more sustainable transportation in Vietnam, and that could be a possibility. I know of one really good company that, aside from VinFast, that is creating electric bikes, and then BYD coming in, of course, Honda, Toyota as well. But there's a really cool company called Nguyen Moto, and that company actually creates electric motorcycles with some pretty hefty horsepower, great looks, and also just cool to ride. It's a reasonably priced as well, and it will fulfill that electric bike. They have limited production capacity. Of course, they'll scale up as well. So if you're looking for one of those, Nguyen Moto is a great company, and a few of our clients work there. And also the CEO is a good friend that has very visionary concepts for that. So if you are looking into a good motorcycle, definitely check out Nguyen, Nuen Moto, Moto. For tourists, do we have to notify local police where we are when we travel to different cities within Vietnam? So legally, you're not required to notify where you're going to travel to. However, depending on where you stay, legally, Airbnbs, hotels, short-term stays, even if you stay with friends, you are required, or the establishment is required to register your temporary residence every night of where you are. Okay, that is a legal requirement in Vietnam. But if you as a tourist and you're traveling around and you're doing a tour company, the tour company will register you. You're staying at the hotel, they'll ask for your visa or your passport, and they're required to register. But the movement between the cities, you're not required to let them know uh, what you're doing in the daytime. It's just at night and where you sleep over. And that's really for not necessarily control, but in order to keep everybody safe. So they'll know if something happens to you that they'll be able to find out your last known stay. Can you advise on which area is the most suitable for a Vikkyu to live? Do you prefer Thao Ding or Phu My Hung? And if a $2,000 a month is sufficient for comfortable life in Ho Chi Minh City? I would make a few assumptions in order to give you advice. I would assume that you're living by yourself or with a significant other, but not having children. Right? We'll make that first assumption regarding the 2,000 a month. Um, so having 2,000 a month, we made a video that you can live comfortably at $2,500 a month in Vietnam. You know, living at a pretty nice apartment with a gym and also a pool as well. Being able to eat out using public or using ride shares. So you can watch some of those videos to get that our breakdown of 2,500 a month. As an option between Thao Ding and Phu My Hung, I always say it depends on your lifestyle. If you are single or divorced and you don't have children and you really want to enjoy the lifestyle, then it would be better for you to live closer to District 1, where the restaurants, the bars, the events, the five-star hotels, all the activities are happening in District 1 mostly. So you would want to live places nearby, like Golden River in Châu Binh Thanh district to the east, Golden River, Saigon Pearl, Sunwell Pearl, the Manor. Those would give you good options. Also, further south a little, what used to be District 4 would be Saigon Royal, Tresor, Icon, 56, Rivergate, Millennium. Those would be better options, and you can get a good one bedroom for $700 a month. If you want to live like a local, you can even live in District 3, someplace in District 1 in the lower rises. You don't have as many amenities, but you'll be right in the action. You can walk downstairs and get food, get banh mi, get rice, have drinking beer parties and all that. Thao Ding is good. It's just a little bit further away, right? It's good for families. Phu My Hung and Thao Ding are great for families, just because they're bigger spaces, more family-friendly activities, places you can walk around. Phu My Hung for sure. It's in District 7 in the south, much further away. And if you had to come to work in District 1, it'd be difficult. But if you just live in District 7 in an enclosed area, then you wouldn't. It'll be a good place to live as well. The streets are bigger. There aren't too many street peddlers. There's a lot of restaurant options. There's a hospital there as well. So it depends on your lifestyle. I would say 2,000 a month living by yourself, then you can be somewhat comfortable. If you have a significant other, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. And if you have children, then I would say for sure that would not be enough to have a comfortable life in Ho Chi Minh City, due to the cost of education, entertainment, food for, try to give your children the best. Ken Duong from Frisco. So yes, from San Francisco. So I lived in San Francisco for 4 years, from 2005 to 2009, or end of eight, to do my JD MBA at Golden Gate University. Live right in downtown in the Mission District. Yeah, and then also I spent a lot of time in Orange County as well as Spain and Bangkok as well, and I've been here in Vietnam for 12 years. So I had the privilege and the luxury of being able to live around the world, and I'm very grateful for that. but you never forget your roots is San Francisco. So thank you very much. Hope you come here to visit here in Vietnam. All right. Hello, Ken. I'm going to be in Da Nang. Was wondering, do you have leads on invested into businesses or startups? Not interested in real estate. So yes, my team and also my colleagues and different resources and networks are very gung ho about Da Nang. We're gung ho for various reasons, and I just recently went to the Bloomberg Business Week event. It's called the Vietnam Future Economic Summit. And there were quite a few speakers that were talking about the future of Da Nang, especially in the context of the IFC, International Financial Center, drawing in international private equity, venture capital, technology-based credit bureaus, things like that, dealing with the financial industry that will be drawn to Da Nang. Thus, it also creates a bigger influx of expats living there, digital nomads, professional expats, and then, of course, Vietnamese who are professionals, up and coming professionals, to move there to start up companies in technology, in finance, fintech as well. But also, you got to think there's a lot of opportunities to support these particular people, right? The expats need certain lifestyle. They need food. They need entertainment. They need spas. Different lifestyles, just like you were in the big cities in Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi. So we do have quite a few opportunities. If you reach out to me personally and also the firm, I'd be happy to share with you some of the food and beverage opportunities, the real estate, but dealing with hotel or hospitality industry, the wellness, hospitality industry, and then of course to also coffee shops, spas, convenience stores that are less than $100,000. We'll be happy to let you know, advise you on the immigration as well. And of course, we represent many technology startup companies that are based in Da Nang. Can reach out to me, be happy to give you a consultation, lay out the options available for you, and then even do the due diligence for you before you invest into a particular company. And then also maybe connect you to some of the contacts and relationships that our company has in Da Nang. Okay. Do you work with small companies? I want to open a company and I'm wondering about ranges of cost for your services. Opening the company, establishing payment methods, contracts with partners, employment law. So yes, we do work with smaller companies. One of our we call our startup package, keeping in mind the budget conscious clients, is we have a $3,800 basic package, which includes setting up the company, opening the bank account, getting a tax ID, some certain basic employment contracts and tax laws. Also, we get your work permit and temporary residence card as well, being the investor or the legal representative of your company. So yes, we do super small companies, from Indian restaurants to one-person tech programming companies, to a single director of photography to start in the entertainment and film industry, one-person consulting firms or law firms. So our team is well equipped and sensitive to the budget needs of small companies. So just please reach out to us. We'll send you a quick intake form to learn about your goals, your business plan, what you plan to do, how many employees, locations, and then from there we'll give you a very tailored proposal to get your company up and running and started in Vietnam. And we're happy to start with you when you're small, because we know when you grow and you expand, you continue to use our legal services, and we can get you all the way up to Series B and also alternative sales and business contingency planning. So start off small, grow big. We're here to help you. Can a tourist in Vietnam that comes from Thailand, Bangkok, ask for help from the Vietnamese Interpol to solve a criminal case in Bangkok? I would generally say no, because Interpol would have offices in the various countries. If a crime or case were to happen in Bangkok, the people, the evidence would all be there, the witnesses. So most likely, Interpol Bangkok or Thailand would be better suited to assist you than in Vietnam. Okay, but as a tourist, there's a Thailand tourism board as well. If you're a tourist and you have issues in Thailand, you can report to them as well to be able to better resolve it for you. Okay. Where do you see software development for Vietnam in 2 to 5 years? I would say it would go up. All the criteria would go up. One is the quality of the product that they're going to produce will go up due to the skill sets, especially with the implementation of AI and having the Vietnamese already big adopters of AI. Two, the price of engineers or software developers will continue to go up due to the demand of international companies coming in, local companies doing software development as well. And then finally, I would say that the number of engineers, software developers, both the AI and non-AI based, will continue to grow. The funnel and the schools that would develop good talent for international companies or local Vietnamese companies will grow as well. So I would say all of that will go up, and you can plan accordingly to use Vietnam as a software development base or a headquarter in the future, mobilizing your talents to Vietnam because relatively it's still cheaper than Taiwan, still cheaper than China, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and some of these other countries based on the value and the talent. One of our clients has about a 50 person development team in Vietnam, and they specifically said that the talent in Vietnam can develop the same or even better quality of gaming compared to their London team at a third of the cost. So if you're getting the same value at a third of the cost, you are definitely going to have a bigger spread and a profit margin, or you can put the money into marketing in other places. So with that said, the software development industry will continue to grow in Vietnam. If you are looking to build a software development company here or a software development team, we'll be happy to help you as we represent a ton of clients in this particular sector. Okay. And one of the things is we definitely are looking at going to Da Nang very soon because Da Nang is being positioned as the Silicon Valley of Vietnam, including the triple helix that they're finally putting the last piece in place. They have Da Nang Institute, Da Nang Institute of Technology or University, which would turn out the talent. You have the government policies are very supportive of software development, engineering, STEM-based or STEAM-based education, and now putting in the IFC, attracting the international financial hubs, private equity, venture capital funds to invest into these companies. So that's definitely something that we want to do a video on, maybe visit the IFC. There will be a new central business district that will be developed by the Sun Group, a large development company in Vietnam as well, with a good track record. So with all that said, we would love for you to join in our goal of raising $2,000 for our team to go to Da Nang and shoot 2 to 3 videos. We'll make sure we'll batch them so that we'll make the best use of our money, just like the last time, to go to Da Nang and really explore this market, make good videos for you, give valuable content that you can make decisions on in your business and life. So click on the square link We would love to have your support to get up to 2,000, hopefully during this live stream, or for the folks who are watching the live stream after. Thank you. Okay. Can I apply for political asylum in Vietnam? Just because immigration police in Cambodia and Thailand refuse investigation about poisoning and scams in those countries. I have a Polish passport. I mean, there is an avenue for political asylum if you can prove that you are a political refugee, that there is a serious and immediate danger to you. There is a possibility, although each case is different, and it takes a lot of proof and evidence for you to stay longer in Vietnam, and what the options are available. Most likely, and currently under the Vietnamese law, you cannot get Vietnamese citizenship based on political asylum, but things may change. Reach out to us. We'll see what we can do. Just shoot us an email. Okay, so we'll do about probably another 10 minutes. And then we will continue on in the next live stream. Since it's going to be monthly, be much easier for us to engage. And of course, we have our videos in between, and our company is always open and available to help anybody that needs to live, work, retire, or invest in Vietnam. All right, to the next question. I wanted to get long-term residency with my family. How much is needed? So I would say generally the DT4 investor visa is about up to 3 billion VND. In the current terms, about $120,000 to $130,000 in order to get you an investor visa and also dependents for your family to stay in Vietnam from 1 to 3 years. Okay. That would be the option. Deciding what you want to invest in, what kind of business you want to open, and where you want to live. That's something I think we need to have a structured and tailored consultation. So Yenenu, please email us at contact@Yung Business Consulting, and we'll be happy to give you a detailed consultation on your specific family situation. But if you're asking purely monetary standpoint, then you're looking at about at least $80,000 for you and your family to have a longer term visa in Vietnam. And now it's just picking the business. So I want to say, yeah, thank you very much to Dominic. The first person, a donation of $100. It's already getting us 5% to our goal. So it's very fast, and we'll make sure that we will thank you when we're in Da Nang as well. And others. So I see, yep, thank you. Buy in Dalat. I see a question. Buy in Dalat. Dalat is awesome. Inquisitive M. I wanted to bring up this question because Dalat is near and dear to my heart. My wife is from Lam Dong province, and we go to Dalat a lot. In fact, we may have some projects there in the future that you'll know about a little bit later, dealing with the wellness hospitality industry. But Lam Dong province now is comprised of 3 big provinces together. It merged or acquired, I would say, Binh Thuong province, which in Binh Thuong and Đắk Lắk, Đắk Nông. So one of the other mountain provinces, so it'll be 3. So which means that Lam Dong province goes from the mountains all the way down to the river, or the river and also the ocean. So you have a very big spectrum of landscapes in Lam Dong province, which includes Dalat. And of course, Moi Nea or Phan Thiết, which you can get from here, Ho Chi Minh to there for less 2.5 hours. So if you look at the landscape availability and the tourism opportunities, including ecotourism, Dalat, Lam Dong province is great to invest in. There's still a lot of beautiful mountain ranges, beautiful beaches, cliffs that you can look over to the beach as well for you to buy. There's reasonable land prices and then also eco resorts and projects there. Within Dalat itself, it's roughly about 17 to 23 degrees. I relate it to Orange County because Orange County, California, where I'm from, is the weather is really good there. The food is very organic. You might see a Pizza 4Ps just opened up in New York, but it's a homegrown brand here in Vietnam of Japanese pizza. Fresh, organic ingredients and food. Weather's really nice. There's a lot of nature. There's beautiful waterfalls, now beaches, rivers, and lakes. So it's actually a very good lifestyle to live and to buy and invest in Dalat now. We have a project. If you're interested in investing with us in the project, let me know. I'll be happy to give you more information about our up and coming wellness hospitality project in Dalat itself, and it also has real estate. So one of my favorite places to go. Thank you for the question. If you're interested, reach out to us, and I'll be happy to give you more details about Dalat and why it's such a good place to invest at this current time. Can you talk tax for U.S. citizens working in Vietnam? Sure. So generally, U.S. citizens that are living abroad will be subjected to three main taxes and also reporting requirements for U.S. citizens. As you know, the Internal Revenue Code specifies that an American is required to report income anywhere derived, anywhere in the world, which we consider the worldwide tax system. Right? If you're getting tips, if you're getting dividend payouts, if you're getting salary, that is our income that is reportable even when you make money outside of the United States. And this is true not just for Vietnam, all the countries, which we call expat taxes. So the first thing you have to know is what's called the Foreign Bank Account Reporting Act, right? FBAR, which states that if you have $10,000 in a foreign bank account, the foreign bank is required to give a note to the US FDIC and tax authorities that this American has an account over 10,000. You, as an American, are required to report that on your tax return to identify that you have an account that has a rolling average over 10,000. That's the first one. The second one is if you actually live abroad longer than 11 months out of the 12 months taxable year, you can get what's called the foreign income exclusion, FIE, for up to a certain amount. It ranges between 90,000 to 120,000 per year, whereby your income below that, you are not required to pay taxes in the US. You're required to report it and then pay taxes in the jurisdiction that you made the income. Anything above that will be treated as ordinary income on your US taxes. So those are the main two big ones. And the last one is if you're doing business abroad, you have to be cognizant of the FCPA, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which prohibits corruption, bribery activities for American companies doing business abroad. So those are the main three. There are certain specifics depending on your industry, depending on the field that you're in and the countries you live in. So if you want a tailored plan, please let me know. Be happy to help. So visa runs are a minimum a week. You can't do a couple of days. The shortest visa run, if you plan it properly with us, would be 3 days. There are some super quick border runs that, depending on the visa type and the purpose, you can do a 1-day visa run to Cambodia as well. So it depends on the visa type. If you're renewing, be shorter. If you work, through our services and through our strategic partners, you can do as fast as a 1-day visa run within the same day, and a typical 3 days. And then, of course, if you're getting other long-term visas, then you might have to be 5 to 7 working days. Okay. I'd like to open a coffee shop with the waterfalls and koi fish. How much on average does that cost, and what is the success rate? I would say if you're doing a smaller location, would be roughly about 150,000 US dollars to open up. With the waterfalls, you got to buy the koi fish, certain safety standards as well. Would be about 150,000. On the bigger scale, be about 300,000. I wouldn't invest any more than 300,000 for that type of business because the return on investment will be very difficult to recoup. The success rate, just like any business around the world, small businesses will fail at a 70% failure rate in the first year, 90% failure rate in 5 years. So that's what you're looking at. Some ways to minimize some of those numbers of failures, then you can do a joint venture with a local partner. Also, you can also buy franchises as well that are in the industry, or you can even talk to operators in that business to license their business. So these are some of the ways to help you minimize 2,000? Yeah, okay. So also that's another way to minimize your failure rates and increase your success rate. So as I stated before, we have about 5 different businesses. We do have a coffee concept, matcha. It's called a matcha coffee concept that we've been rolling out. So if you're interested in possibly joint venture with us and fulfilling your business and visa needs, then just reach out to us and we'll be happy to give you some information about it that might increase your chance of success, at least for your first business, and then afterwards you can do it on your own as well. Reach out to us and we'll be happy to work with you. There was a lady who refused to take my 200K bill because there was a small tear in the corner. Are they allowed to do this? Isn't it still legal tender? So it is illegal to refuse. However, it's extremely common practice due to other people or banks, institutions not accepting it. So it's not legal to refuse. However, in practice, it's done very commonly. And your real recourse is to file a complaint, a civil complaint to the tourism police. And then maybe they will reprimand the particular business. But individuals, it would be very hard for them to reprimand because they can't find them. All right. Young Global, has there been any news on the proposed golden visa? So there hasn't been any specific new news that we haven't uncovered yet, but we've done a video about it to determine the period of stay, how long it will last, what benefits you have, what is your residency requirements, investment requirements. On the golden visa, how much you need to invest. Is there a direct investment program and also a contribution program? So we've done a video. You can click on that to watch our take on it, which is purely speculative and with some inside information from our resources in the government. But officially, there's not an actual rollout of the golden visa yet, currently as of today. Okay, last question. Is Vietnam, okay, yep. Is Vietnam practicing social healthcare system? Right. So Vietnam is practicing. Vietnam does have a social healthcare system for folks who qualify in order to have reasonable healthcare services. When I say reasonable, I mean if you pay more, then you would have better. So these are general services in order for people with lesser means to have medical care, treatment, and checkups. So yes, Vietnam does have a social healthcare system. I wouldn't say it's too great yet. People still need to pay a little bit extra or buy extra healthcare insurance from the private sector to cover their real needs. So the short answer is yes. The long answer is it's an imperfect system. It could be better. So you're better off just paying for your healthcare or buying a private healthcare provider. Okay. So with that said, once again, we would love for you to support our channel as we go to Da Nang. Thank you to the different donors. You can continue to donate. We'll be happy to put your money to best use. Thank you, Digilo Lovo, for the 2,000 yen. I assume you're from Japan. Then we are going to continue to provide valuable, free, entertaining content to help you remember us and to continue to support us. So with that said, I want to say on behalf of Yung Global, thank you very much for watching this live stream. We'll be doing it monthly. So rest assured, you're going to get our direct information and direct analysis and also answer your questions directly. But of course, in between the live streams, make sure that you watch our videos as well, as they come out every single week on Saturday in Vietnam or Friday in other places. So with that said, thank you very much for watching this live stream. Enjoy your day, your night, and we'll see you on the next one. And of course, the video this weekend.